Kasam Shaikh. Okay, I work as an lead solution architect at Capgemini. I'm an Microsoft MVP in artificial intelligence. I'm an MCT, author of 4 Azure books, and out of that 4, 3 are on bots and AI. I have my YouTube channels. You can go over there and have all those. All the videos are available or free of cost, so you can go through it. So this was a short intro of mine, just an formality for this. So today we'll look more into how you can create this bot. So I can see uh, the percentage in this room who have not developed the bots was huge, and I will try my best that once you leave the room, uh, this percentage should be at least 5 to 10%. Not in the terms of you are creating a bot here, but at least you know how to create the bot. So you can go and very well do those stuffs. And the best part is everything is free. Okay, everything comes free, non-production. Everything is free, and like at least you can test, you can do POCs, you can try it, you can make your hand dirties with those services, and along with the free stuffs, you don't have to write any code. That is the best part, right? So you don't have to write any code stuff. So you like when we hear about bots, the first thing comes in your mind. It's like Python and machine learning and all those algorithms and all those stuffs. But you don't have to worry about it. That is what the session is all about. Like creating that no code bot. Actually, I was supposed to show you low code bot. Then I thought of creating start with no code. Then we will go with for low code. Okay. So why, first of all, why we need this bots? Like why we are talking about bots? What is the use of creating these bots? Okay, guys, I need some kind of interaction from your end also. Okay, to make it more stuff, the person who will ask me most of the questions or answer my questions, I will give you some swag from my end. Okay, from my end, not from the conference part. It's from my end. It is just to have you charged up. Fine. So why you think like we need bots? Because before creating it, before developing it, before knowing the things on how to do, we should know why it is. So see, these are the few points. And yes, automation and self-service are on top 3, you can say, for having the bots, basically for the business and in the organizations part. But these are few reasons we have just I had read one POV and it was quite interesting. So I had just collated those part and I've put it over here because it was easy to understand. Okay, I don't remember that guy's name who wrote that, so sorry for that. But this is the simplest thing you can know about that. Okay. So no capacity constraint. So chatbot seamlessly performs the capacity balance. So what it does is when for the service desk kind of, right? For each request which comes in, we have one agent or one human to respond it. But in case of bots, that's not the case. For every user, the same bot replies and in the same time. So it's nothing about the scalability kind of stuff, right? You are getting, if 30 people are asking same question or different question to one bot, it will reply all the 30 at the same time. But that doesn't happen with when there is a human agent kind of in front of. So that is one stuff. Quicker resolutions, of course, like when you call up, you must have experience when you have called up the customer care or when you go for service request desk, they navigate you all this stuff, right? You first go to where you need to raise that service ticket first of all. Okay, and that is the big pain. First you need to know what service request need to raise for what query you have. So that is one stuff. When you ask to bot, like I want to do this, I want for example, I want some Visual Studio license. The bot can respond you with the direct link of getting it done, right? So that is the response is much quicker. So the resolutions comes in a fast way. Omni-channel experience, when we have, it is not only, there are some product companies who also keep their bots, like have their product manuals or their offerings as a part of bots. And when it becomes in a different channel, not only their website, there is no bound to that people should come on their website and then they have a chat with that particular stuff or read about those products. But if we have it in different channels on mobile, Facebook, Telegram, and WhatsApp, and all those stuff, you must have seen recently banks are coming up with that WhatsApp stuff, right? For getting the uh, balance and all those stuffs. So that experience gets better when it comes to bot. Uh, Again, anticipate customer need in the sense when the questions are being asked, that can be very much read and can be analyzed and can be used for making your product much better. When you come to know what questions are asked, right? If I'm speaking here, and when I get questions from you, next time I will keep that in mind, what all questions comes in, and I will prepare my deck accordingly to answer that question very well first in place. Same goes to the products also, right? Whatever questions comes in, the business comes to know what customers are actually looking out for. Okay, so that thing is also being answered. So there are um, okay, so personalized connection. This is the same thing. You try to understand your customer in a proper way when it comes to one-to-one chat. Okay, it doesn't mean like if the bot is having the chat is very much hidden or kind of not known to the uh, end user or the product team or the business team. Everything gets logged. Okay, even if you I have seen many of my friends, they are just going to any of the sites and they just type anything just to do time pass. Like they wanted to see kya reply aata hai, kind of the what reply they get. So that things make everything are getting logged. So that is one of the things. Sorry, I'm just trying to rush it because we have less time and there were more slides. So I want to show you demo. So that's the reason I'm just trying to get a bit faster here. But you can anytime stop me and ask me the question for which I'm waiting for. Okay. Uh, to have a glance, is this visible to the last one? Right? So you can see the growth, see that 2025 where it is going and this domains where they are using it right now. So already 23%. So this is from some of the reports which the figures are coming in. So already 23% people are, business are already using the bots and next 31 are planning in few months. So it is growing in a very, a next trend we can say when it comes to bot, automation, self-service, kind of. All the things comes in a workflow where you need, when we say automate block workflows, it has some trigger points, right? And that could be your bot. As a bot is not something which has recently got started. The first bot was created around 1960s. Okay, I don't know how many people have used Word, the older version. There was one something known as Clippy. Huh? It didn't work because it came before time. It went again, but that was something kind of bot, which tells you what to do, what it suggests you, right? And before that also there were many bots. The first bot was created in 1956. Its name was Maria, I think. Maria. It used to. It was create. It was created for basically for suggesting some legal advices kind of stuff in US. So there were bots. It is not nothing. It is just now people are becoming lazy and they want to automate everything. And now they came to a solution. Okay, we need to have something known as bots. And then more than lazy, it's a kind of I have created a bot. I, it could be no code, it could be low code. But when someone asks, I use Python, I have written some algorithms and it's working fine. So that's behind the scenes stuff. So these are just for your glance, like what we are trying to learn or what you can learn about bots. It's not something new, but it is not something which will go soon. Okay. So Yeah. So we'll come to this. Before that, just wanted to know, I forgot, sorry, how many of you have worked with Azure AI services? Forget about bots, cognitive services, AI services. Very few. Okay. Are you aware what Azure AI services does or why it is being used in a very huge manner? I'll tell you. So that's better. Fine. So when we, again, I will come to the same jargon. Okay. AI, artificial intelligence, neural networks, deep learning, very buzzwords, right, in the market. Natural processing, something, NLPs. But it is, they are, yes, they are huge and great stuffs. Okay. But it is not something that you cannot do it. And where Azure AI plays a very important role in helping you to leverage this powerful AI's capabilities. So what Microsoft has done is, see, for a better UI, you need to have a huge compute behind it. You have to you need to have a huge data behind it, and of course, a very smart algorithms. Okay. So what Microsoft has thought is, okay, don't worry about algorithms, don't worry about compute, don't worry about this stuffs. We will create it for you. You just use the manner you're using your daily technologies. So it came up with REST APIs. Okay. So we have a layer of API, a single layer of API, a simple HTTP API, where you need to pass your request and you will get your response. And this response comes with all the smart algorithms behind the scenes, which Microsoft gives you. So that is known as Azure Cognitive Services. Okay, when we say AI offerings from Azure, it's Azure Cognitive Services. Now they have categorized this cognitive services into 5 to 6 areas like language, vision, okay, documents. So when I say vision, it is about you are showing an image and it is telling you about what's there in this image. That comes in vision. Speech, you must have seen the MS Teams, what they are doing right now. When you have your calls on the flight, it gets transcribed into the language you want. What is that? What is that? Yes, so that is speech services which comes as a part of AI. You can also use that in your application. There are many super cool, use cases. Like you can have your password in a voice format. If I ask you to create an application with a login form, wherein your voice should be your password, what your first thing you will think of? How to read that voice, how to understand that voice, how to authenticate that voice, right? But if I will tell you that you have just one HTTP RESTful API a URL, you need to just record that, pass it to it, and you will get the response whether it is there, yes or no. How easy it would be. So that is the power of Azure Cognitive Services. Okay, and this same goes for bots. And when it comes to bots, it comes to language area. Okay, I would recommend you. That's not the topic today, but I will recommend you to go and read about Azure AI services. There are 5 to 7 categories, and it's really in a very layman term. They have written it. You will understand it. There are tons of documentations. You can use that. You can create the POCs. There are many applications already being created. So you can use that and add on your functions or your features into your application. Okay. And if you create an Azure free trial, if you don't have subscriptions as such, okay, if you create a free trial, there are something around 12 to 10 to 12 services which comes free, cognitive services which comes free. You can use it for 30 days. Sorry, for 12 months. 12 months is huge, right? 12 months. Okay. So again, I'm not getting any questions. Do you have any questions? Sorry, I haven't asked. I'm only going on. Do you have any questions till now? I know it's not regarding bots, but still. Costing for? It depends upon which services you are using, but it's not high. It's not high as compute. you can like virtual machines and all. No, it all depends upon how you are using, how many calls you are passing in. But it all comes with free tier also. Like the service which we will see in next 5 to 10 minutes. This too comes with a free account. And I have created a demo and entirely free stuff. Sir. All the tiers are free. Okay, so I have not used, purposely I have not used any of the tiers. So it all depends how your usage is. Fine. Like 3,000 per day, if you just think of having a request coming in, 3,000 requests going to your API per day. Is it huge or nominal? 3,000 per day. Huge, right? It's free. After 3,000, it is 36 rupees something. For 30,000, up to 30,000. I don't remember the figure exactly, but I will show you. So that is how the things are. It was a good question that price matters, but in this cognitive area, it's cool. Of course, but all the smart things comes with some price. It's not always free. But to make your hand dirty, at least to dive in, at least to have some MVP tool ready, you don't have to pay price. Okay. So let's jump into this. I don't think so, but anyone you have used? Do you know about QnA Maker service? QnA Maker. You want to ask something?
Different or same technology they are using? Hello.
Yeah.
So is it all the same technology for the Google Dialogflow and all these stuffs? They have their layers of API the same for all these chatbots, or
It's
how is
not
it different?
same.
Okay.
It's very much similar, but it's not same.
Okay.
Dialogflow is altogether an interface to have those workflows when it comes to chat. So that is a different service which we have in Microsoft for creating those flows.
Okay.
Those conversational flows. But here, we are going to talk about is not near to that Dialogflow stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so sorry. So to go before that demo, okay. So I just wanted to know there was a service known as QnA Maker. Okay, there was a service in Azure AI that is known as QnA Maker. Now you can find out the terms. QnA means question and answers maker. Okay, and by using that QnA Maker service, you can create a bot for an FAQ stuff. You have a structured data with you, question answers, kind of. You have to just pass that service, or pass that image, or pass that file, or URL, anything to that service, and it create a database behind it. And then you have to just pass the request to that particular stuff, and it will give you response finding in that answer. Like you have to question it, and it will give you the answer. So it was a very widely used service. Okay, the people everyone started creating bots because you don't have to write a single piece of code. It is just adding that file. That's it. But now what Microsoft had done is it has added more smartness to that service, and it has stopped it from 1st October. Actually, my topic was on QnA Maker migration, but it got stopped, it got deprecated from 1st of October itself. So I just came to this service which was next to QnA Maker. Okay, so this service is known as question answering. Very simple name, right? Question answering. It comes under language feature. Okay, now what it does whatever I told you now what QnA Maker does, it does the same thing, but in a more smarter way. I will tell you, I was just creating the demo, okay, and I used one URL from Microsoft Learn, FAQ URL. And I was just trying to, how it is responding. I entered one keyword and it responded me with some text response. And believe me, I was not able to find that particular response in the source which I gave. Like I was searching where exactly it was, how it came to know. Like I will show you that part. I was really surprised, like from where here it is getting this data, because the source was given by me, and in that source there were nowhere that thing were mentioned, but it gave me, and I thought it will respond with something, don't a default kind of response that I don't know will get back kind of. But I will show you that it was quite interesting for me too. And believe me, these services are getting evolved daily. When day by day, it is getting more smarter. And that is the best part of Azure Cognitive Services, which I'm using it from last 4 to 5 years. And I know how it has got evolved. And it's still evolving. Like in Ignite, there are more updates came in, which I was not able to go through. But there are more updates came in this Ignite. And this question answering is one of the best thing which was shown. Okay, so it just make your bot more smarter. You will not understand as of now. When we see the demo, you will understand it more. But still, so this was one of the older slide maybe. What's new with the QnA Maker and how it was being compared kind of stuff. So let's see a potential use case. Okay. Um, it's a very common stuff. You can see this where this QnA Maker stands, right? So instead of this QnA Maker, then now there will be question answering stuff. Okay, so I've just used purposely this very simple use case, like where this QnA Maker, this bot can be used in your internal organization or stuff. So the user is coming in through mobile or laptops. It is getting authenticated from the Azure AD stuff. And with this, don't worry about what is coming in middle, all this thing, bot services and all. Here you can see what the request is getting asked, that intent is being known. This is also one of the coolest service Azure Microsoft provides, language understanding LUIS. Earlier it was known as Project Oxford, Microsoft Project Oxford, but then it was named as LUIS, and it's you can say, when it comes to bot, LUIS is the part of it. Without LUIS, you cannot create a bot. It understands the intent of user, what it is asking. When you say, book a ticket for me, flight ticket for me. So booking is your intent, right? Switch off the lights. What is your intent? Switch off. So that is being recognized by LUIS. And based on that intent, this QnA Maker comes in picture and do the stuff. So now just think of that QnA Maker has gone and question answers have come in. It will do the same stuff, but in a more smarter way. Okay, cool. So finally we reached. So I've just created a grow bot. Okay, randomly gave the name. I was watching some movie and he was shouting grow, grow, grow. So I just wrote this name, nothing behind that grow wala part. It was a nice movie, and the basic intent of this bot is like, it helps the user to find the resources for learning. Like if I want to go for a particular certification, AI certification. Okay, so where should I learn? What should I learn? It gives a learning path. Now, when it comes to learning path, Microsoft Learn is the best stuff. Okay, Microsoft Learn should be your one-stop learning point for all the certifications. Fine. So what I've did is I will show you the Microsoft Learn FAQ page, and I've added that particular in my bot. And I will then ask my bot about the same FAQ, and I will show you where it gave me some reply which I was not able to find in that page. Maybe I missed it, I don't know, but let's see where it is. So, give 1 minute, I will just stop this. So this is all about language service or the question and answer service. Okay, and as I said it's a part of language area for Azure Cognitive Services. One more thing, about QnA Maker. QnA Maker was one of the first service which provided an UI for working with it. I'm talking about back 2017, 2016, 2017. Anything comes was in a kind of portal and all those documentation, SDKs and all. But QnA Maker service was the first one to have an interface to work with, a graphical interface to work with. Just drag and drop and do the things. So it was the first service, but unfortunately they have just suspended the UI. So that's the reason I was not able to show you. But they have created this very cool stuff, Language Studio. You can see the look and feel is more like Azure portal. Okay, because it is a part of Azure only, but still it is very kind of user friendly stuff, right? So when we talk about question and answer service, okay, or when we want to use this question and answer service, we need to come first to Language Studio. You can just enter in your browser Language Studio Azure, it will open up language.cognitive.azure.com. Okay. So what I've done is, if you can see, I have already created one bot. Don't worry, I will go through step by step for the things, but I will not wait it for getting created or deployed. Okay, I will show you what are the steps, just to avoid, for the brevity of this session. I've just created it. Okay, it's running fine, fortunately, and I will show you that how it is being taken care. So when you come to this Language Studio, just listen to it, just follow what the steps are. It's not something rocket science you need to do. It's a step by step, all the things are in here only. Okay, it will give all the links to create. So just carefully watch how the things goes in. Okay. If you have any doubt in doing these steps, please raise your hand so we can have. Any questions till now? Yeah.
This bot is only applicable to Power Platform, or it can be used as any other application also?
This is not Power Platform bot.
Okay, so we can reuse
Power
anywhere.
Platform bot, that is something known as Power Virtual Agents.
Okay.
Which was my earlier topic.
Okay.
Which I didn't tell. Okay, so this is not a Power Platform bot.
Okay.
This bot, once you create it, you can use it anywhere in your Microsoft bot framework, in Azure bot framework, or any of the bot frameworks. Okay. You can create this using Node.js, C#, any language. You can have this not only in English, but there are 30 languages which it supports, along with Spanish and all those stuffs. So this is not a Power Platform bot.
Thank you.
But after creating this bot, you can integrate it with Power Apps. You can do that. We will see. I will integrate it with MS Teams. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah. Okay. So quickly, I heard some claps there. I think he ended the session. I don't know how much time we have. We have 15 minutes, right? So he is a bit early. Okay. So when you open up this Language Studio, okay, you have a section saying create new. Okay, the same stuff. Go and create new. Or just below, come down. Sorry. See, these are the things which comes in under language. There were many different services altogether. Now what they have done is they have clubbed it to one language service. So these are the things you can do: extract key phrases, this entity recognitions. These are very useful when it comes to review a kind of live streaming stuffs, like for example tweets which are coming in, that could be reviewed on the fly using this analytics and all. Like, is it a kind of harsh words are being used also? And just to make clear, sarcasm is not being yet added. It is only positive, negative. So some smart people can still pass on this, but they are working hard on it. It will come soon. So what we are today, see this detect language, this is something when you type, it says you which language it is, English or Spanish, German, anything. We are more interested today here, custom question and answering. Okay, so to start with, let's click on this. Now, as I have already created it, that's the reason it's showing my grow bot here. But you can click on this create new project, give it some kind of name. Anyways, I'm not going to create it, so I'm just writing anything. Why this is being blurred? Before, when I first created the bot, okay, it gave me an option to select the language of my bot. And there was one option over it, like, do I want to use the same language in all my bots under this project? And I selected yes. So that's the reason it's giving me, it's not allowing me to change the language, but you can have different multiple languages over here. So when you create your language service for the first time, it will show you that option. So be sure that you don't check that. Okay. Okay. Now this is something, default answer when no answer is written. Do you understand why it is? Anyone? Why we need to enter this? What is this? Right. So now you came to know, right, how easy it is, right? You're able to understand why we need to enter it first place. So in my bot, I have written very good question. We will come back to you. The very common question, right? When we don't have any answers. So in that grow bot, I have written that. So let it be the default one. Next. So it is just showing you what all I have added, and create project. Okay, sorry. Before that, it has already gone to my language page. So sorry for that. So this is Azure services which I wanted to show. Okay, you can see this. This is the language service. So I will tell you why it is not showing me, because when you create for the first time, okay, it will keep you asking, like, there are no language service associated, please create. There is no question answering, please create. So I did in the same way, okay, but it takes fewer minutes, and here fewer minutes are more. Okay, we have only 10 minutes remaining, so I don't want it to waste that time in deployment. So the very first thing, this is the resource group. All are aware of resource group, right? So this is the resource group, and when you create your question answering bot, these are the services which get created. Now this is the one language, this is search service, and this web search service, this two. When you create language, your question answering service, this is the two resources which get created. So what it does, when you add your data that needs to be a part of your response bot, it creates an Azure search and it keeps that data into your Azure search. So the two thing happens. Azure search also finds some indexes on your response, and top of that question answering session again do an natural language processing and add top of its second rankers kind of index to give you a smarter response. Okay, that is what new with question answering. Earlier it was not the case. It was just Azure search which was responding it. Now, why this three things are coming in? So web, as I told you, right? I created the bot. I will show you that added all those stuffs. But where I will host it? I need to host it, right? Some framework kind of. So I have used another cool service, Azure Bot. So this is also just step by step, click wala stuff. Nothing code, no code. I have not written single line of code. Okay. So it created this bot, web app bot, and again it requires some money, app service plans. But I will show you this all are with free tiers. Everything. This entire resource group, all these are with free tiers. Maybe this would be have some standard one, but 36 rupees per month. Cheaper than a pizza. Huh? Pizza is also costing, I believe, 50 something. So 36 per month. Sorry, some request, some count of request, 36 rupees something. So these are the stuff. Okay. Now let me go to this. what I have done is I have used this FAQ. This is from Microsoft Learn, and I have some question and answers. Okay, now, yes. Earlier, when it was QnA Maker, we had to have a structured way, question, answer stuff. But now, even the unstructured document can also be a part of this. It is not necessary to be a structured. That is new with question answering. Okay, so this is a structured one, but even you can have not only URLs, but you can have your files, CSV files, PDF files, Word file, anything. You can directly have URL entered. This URL should be a public URL. It should be accessible publicly. You cannot add your intranet URLs. Okay. And whenever you add this, it will just extract all the data from this portal. But remember one thing, it is not that you have added this URL, so it will keep updating. Your database will keep updating. No. The moment it is getting extracted, the same data will be there. You have to keep on updating it. But how it will grow based on how the questions are being asked. That is a different story. That service does for you. You don't have to make it. If you are writing what is module, then you are writing. If you are, see, this is the one which I mentioned. I wrote what is unit, and it gave me this answer. Then you can read this XP. I just wrote what is XP, and it gave me the answer, but it is nowhere in this. You can search this. You can go to Microsoft Learn FAQ and search for what is XP. But that bot responded to me exactly what the XP is. And I really don't know how it came. I am looking for that thing after this. How from it came. Hello? Yeah. So I just added it, okay, over here. So you can see this one, grow bot. Okay, so what you can do is just go to this add source. So you can see these three sources, right? URL, files, and chit chat. So URL, I told you what it is. Public URLs. Files can be anything. Okay. What is this chit chat? Any idea? Huh? This chit chat is one of the best and unique stuff which Microsoft provides while creating a bot. It has more than 300 conversations. Some people, I told you, right, they do time pass kind of stuff. So that is to answer this. So it has different personas like professional, friendly. It has also witty. Okay, that gives a very best answers to such time pass request. Okay, so it comes with different personas, and there is very smart team of Microsoft who has worked on this. So it saves your time, saves your money. It gives a set of question answers in a bundle of this chit chat. Just you have to select that you have to add chit chat. That's it. It will do the rest of the things. But it depends on what personas you are trying. If you use professional, it will answer you professionally. If you use friendly, like if you enter, can you sing a song? The professional chit chat will reply you, I'm not inclined to it, sorry. But a friendly persona will sing, ta-ra-ra-ra-ra, do you want something more? Kind of. So this is the way it responds. So you don't have to worry about this request at all. You have to just worry about your data, what your data you are giving in. Okay. So that is chit chat. And you can see it is just like, click here, add if I add this URL, here you have to just provide the name of that URL and just click on apply, that's it. It will do rest of the things. You don't have to do anything. No code. See this chit chat. These are the 5 personas it has. Caring, enthusiastic, professional, friendly. So for which I have created, I have used professional. I don't wanted to show that friendly and witty wala response. So I've used professional one. And you have to just click on this, it will add as a part of source. That's it. Okay, so I have added, see this chit chat professional and this learn Microsoft. So what happened, you can add 3 resources when you are using free tier. And when you are using paid tier, you can use n number of resources, n number of URLs. But for free, it is only 3. Okay. So to make sure if you want to use free, copy from that public URL and paste it in your one document, and then add it to a single document to it, because it will not read what data you're adding. It will just see how many sources you are adding. Okay. So one tip to make your bot more optimized way. Okay, free. Once you do this, okay, you can play with that data. Like, let me go here. So this is something coming on from that portal, Microsoft Learn portal. Okay. So this is the question. This is the question, and this is the answer which will be given as a reply. Now you can add more questions to it, like how do I find an educator training content on Learn? You can write here, please find me educator training content on Learn. You can frame different questions you want to ask. But that was earlier case. Now it is more smart, it does in the first place itself. But if you want something to be answered, you can write it here. Just give the phrases and that's it. Nothing. No code again. Huh? Just remember, we have not written any code. I have not shown you any screen where I have written the code. And once that is done, how to deploy? So this is once you come here, deploy knowledge base. Okay, this is a section, deploy. Just click it and it does the things. Like what it does, it in the Azure search here, under indexes, this is the one which is on production. Like once you deploy, it passes all the data here, and the data which you have not deployed, you are working with it, it stays here. Okay, it just moves on the indexes, nothing else. Now, are you getting bored? Sure? No, I can see some less smiling faces now. It is not bored. I will show you how the results are, okay? Then it will be quite interesting. But these are the steps you have to go. So this is the prediction URL. You can use that URL. It gives a RESTful API. You can have it in your application and pass on request and response. But what I did, I created a bot, that is Azure bot. This one. What it is? This one. I created this bot. When you click on this, it will just land up to that page. Just enter it, select the languages, and you can go ahead. Okay, it has free tiers. Now let's see. You can also test it from here. Whatever you are writing, you can test it from this window itself. So now let's go to where I have deployed it, web app bot. So I told you about Azure bot services, right? It is a single place where you can host your bot, you can test your bot, you can connect it with different channels. You don't have to write anything. It comes with all these settings. Are you able to see this? It comes with all these settings. Profile. If once you create your bot, you can set up an icon for your bot. You can give the name, what the name it should show when it gets added to channel. Like when I'm adding to Facebook, what name it should show. You can add this handles, descriptions of your bot from here. This is the interesting stuff, channels. So these are all the channels which are available where you can integrate your bot with just a click. You can see all good, right? Telegram, Teams, everything is there. So I've added it already. It gives you the status also whether what you have integrated is in a good health or not. And how I've added it, I just clicked it. See, this is the web chat which is being used in a web. If I click on it, it will give me a URL which you can use in any of your web pages in a form of iframe. Okay. Now let me quickly show. I have very less time. Sorry for this, but we can anytime connect. So I have integrated it with Teams just by a single click, and you can open it on your Teams. Just click it over here. Let me see whether, if it asks me for the login, I will not show. Thank God. Okay. So see, GrowBot, right, which we created there. I just clicked it, 2 clicks, one MS Teams and open in MS Teams. Now it came in your Teams channel. Similarly, it goes with Telegram, but you have to add something in the Telegram also to authenticate it once. But then it will add as a chat manner. Okay. Now see this. The same questions which we saw about unit, right? Where it is? What is unit? It gave me a reply. Now I will see, I will ask them. Same reply. Let's see whether it replies to this. Doesn't reply, right? But the next time, in 15 to 20 minutes, when it get trains, it will reply to this also. If I tell them, if I give some hints, like I wanted this response, it will start giving the response. Okay, now let me, sorry, I'm afraid I'm not music. See, this is not a part of my data, right? But it replied me what I can expect it from it, but in a very professional way. When you try na, select friendly or witty and then see the response, how it goes. Okay. So the same way you can add it in your teams and in different channels. It will work very seamlessly and it is free. Okay. Thank you.